The stars of tomorrow begin their journey right here today with the 2024 FIM JuniorGP World Championship. Last year's champions have all moved into their new classes, and JuniorGP champion Angel Piqueras has gone on to podium dreamland in the World Championship. To start this incredible season, we've touched down at the 4.23-kilometre Misano World Circuit. Marco Simoncelli is situated along the Misano Adriatic coast. Built in 1972, it has been a mainstay for racing ever since. The circuit may have changed direction for 2007 to its now iconic 16-corner course with corners like Quercher. Misano offers a unique and adrenaline-filled ride. Joining me today, Liam Hodgins, is my co-host in crime, Connor Doherty, for today's World Championship JuniorGP action. Connor, welcome.
Thank you very much, Liam. An absolute pleasure to be with a veritable fountain of knowledge in the world of motorsport like yourself here on Italy's Adriatic coast. We're in for so much excitement today, and I'm thrilled to be sharing it with you.
Pleasure to have you alongside us for the first one of the season. Looking forward to what is promising to be an incredible season ahead. 7-round championship, JuniorGP, European Talent Cup, Moto2, and also Stock European Championship.
No, it's going to be a fantastic day, Liam.
So, this is what happened last year in JuniorGP. Angel Piqueras came into the 2023 season as pre-season favourite. He got his account underway with victory in race 2 of the season opener. He never looked back as others tried to displace him from the top of the table. New challengers emerged with Alvaro Carpi, Luca Lunetta and Joel Esteban coming to the fore as Xabi Zura-Tuza became the 100th different winner. But it was Angel Piqueras that wrapped it all up with title glory with 4 wins and 9 podiums along the way. Can anyone repeat what Angel Piqueras did last season in dramatic and brilliant fashion in JuniorGP as we saw action, elbow-to-elbow racing, new winners in the likes of Joel Esteban, the rookie sensation, also stepping up to Moto3 World Championship. The racing may be close, it will be frenetic, and it will be incredible with close finishes, close battles, and new champions. So there we have the class of 2024. As we said, Angel Piqueras has moved on to pastures new, and stepping in to replace him is last year's European Talent Cup champion Max Keelis, who will be looking to do the dynamite double with Red Bull Rookies Cup and JuniorGP. There is MLAV Racing Team Eddie O'Shea looking to strike his authority on the championship in what is going to be his 4th season. Now, as we can see, it's not quite the Misano sunshine that we all know and love. There's a little bit of cloud in the air. It's been a little bit wet over the weekend, but the dandelions are out, and well, there's not a better place to be, Connor, than here in Misano on the Adriatic coast.
I don't think there is. I mean, yesterday, Liam, we saw that the weather really well, we were subject to a deluge, effectively. About midday, practice just coming to a close, and the clouds opened. And we were witnessing, effectively, qualifying in the wet. And then the sun came out, and it looks like today we might be a bit luckier with the conditions.
Well, let's hope we've not spoken too soon there, Connor, because the clouds are descending upon us. But yeah, as you said, we had biblical rain yesterday, just after the after the JuniorGP. So this is what happened yesterday in qualifying.
This is my first position in this category. I am the rookies. Now I'm very happy for this moment because I don't know, the feeling is very good. Then I do the best pole position, I think, for me, because in Valencia for the ETC I do 1 pole position, but now with the Moto3 it's more important, and I think it's the most important for my car right now. I think for tomorrow we can do a podium, but I don't know. The races are very strange, and in Moto3 it's very hard to win or to do a podium.
Well, there you have him, one of many rookies on this year's grid, Jesus Rios, a debutant in the class and already on pole position with a lap that was 0.3 of a second faster than anyone else. A brand new all-time lap record around the Misano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli in Junior GP with a 145.9 in actual fact. An incredible lap time by Jesus Rios Corner. And even though that this is the first time that the Junior GP series as a whole has been to Misano, Junior GP raced here a couple of years ago where Jose Antonio Rueda on Australia Galicia Honda machine wrapped up the title. There is a very familiar face, Alonso Lopez with the Finet Work Racing team checking in on the riders out there today, with Adrian Cruces starting in second place. So Adrian Cruces, the 17-year-old riding the Finet Work KTM machine, he is one to watch this season, comes into this year as one of the championship favourites. So Cruces going from the middle of the second row on the outside of the middle of the front row, but on the outside of the front row as well, a rider that we will be seeing plenty of.
He's definitely one to watch, Liam. Another Finet Work rider, Rocher Moodley, will be starting from third on the grid. South African rider who is very much impressing. It's his first front row in this class, and from what we've seen, he's definitely going to be threatening the other riders at the front in this race today.
He will indeed. Rocher Moodley, another debutant in the class, just like Jesus Rios on pole position. Now, we did have a little bit of a race with Rocher Moodley on the service road yesterday as we went down to Rio Corner, turn number 4. He slammed it up the inside of us as we were on the scooter yesterday. So just getting in some quick laps there. Speedy recovery for the number 27 says Cormac Buchanan. A big wave to the camera. Cormac Buchanan, another rider that we are looking for great things from this season. Cormac has well, been amazing in the class since last year, and well, competed in the Red Bull Rookies Cup as well. Stepped up from European Talent Cup midway through 2022, and well, is chasing one of his best results, maybe even a podium, maybe even a win. He is one to watch this season, Connor.
His best result so far in the Junior GP is P4, Liam. He's starting from P4. Is that something he's going to be able to beat this time around? He's going to have his eye on the podium, as you've said.
Yeah, indeed. We're going to be watching for him, and also Rico Salmela, the pocket rocket from Finland, 16 years of age, but it is really a pocket rocket. He's been racing in the European Talent Cup, the Red Bull Rookies Cup, a race winner in both of them, and really a star for the future. And as we've seen from the likes of Mika Kallio in the past, when you come from Finland and people are really watching you, they really believe you have a special talent. He goes from 5th place on the grid, the middle of row number 2.
He actually managed to finish in P4 here in Misano as well in race 2 previously. Moving on to Casey James O'Gorman, who's another one to watch, 16 years of age.
Yeah, the Irishman stepping up from European Talent Cup, also racing in the Red Bull Rookies as well. He did a couple of rounds towards the end of last season with the Australia Galicia team, and the young Irishman who has been a winner in the European Talent Cup at the back end of 2022. You must admit, even though it's his first full season, Connor, qualifying on the outside of the second row is a big statement indeed. Watch out for him this season.
I think it is. I think in this game it's all about adapting to the bike, and he looks like he's capable of doing that very quickly. Now, as you said, Liam.
Now here's a rider here, Max Quiles, who is going to be looking for the dynamite double of Junior GP and Red Bull Rookies. Now, Angel Piqueras did it last season, and the first person to do it was Jose Antonio Rueda the year before, and if they've got one thing in common, they were all racing for the Australia Galicia team as well as the Red Bull Rookies. So Max Quiles, he steps up from European Talent Cup as a double champion in 2021 and 2023. Watch out for him.
He does so deservedly as well. Another figure to watch, Hakim Danish, who's going to be starting from the 3rd row as well, behind Max Quiles.
Yeah, big star in the making is Hakim Danish, former, well, we can't say former because, well, if you become a champion in any class, you're still a champion. So ATC champion a couple of years ago was Hakim Danish, a wonder, so to speak, a bit of a well, a wildfire, so to speak, in the class in the European Talent Cup. Very fast indeed. And here's another fast rider with the Aspar team. The CF Moto squad is Marcos, not Brian. Brian Uriarte is a little bit too young to ride this weekend, but we will see him for the next race. But here's Marcos Uriarte starting on the outside of row number 3.
Yeah, so the anticipation's growing here, Liam.
Yeah, it really is. We have the 1 minute board shown, or 3 minute board is shown. Indeed, I thought there was going to be a 1 in front of that, but here comes the 1 minute board now for the start of the first race of the season. Alvaro Carpe, a little bit mired in the pack as a young Spaniard, a 4-time podium finisher last season, and well, he'll be one of the championship favourites. Indeed, there's so many riders that could be challenging for the title this year that can become champion, and Alvaro Carpe, who is also a race winner in the Red Bull Rookies, will be looking for that elusive first win in Junior GP.
I think some people might be surprised that he's starting from so far back, Liam. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's the top finisher on the grid from last year as well. So to be starting from where he is, it's going to be a bit difficult for him to get.
Now, this is a really nice sign from Marcus Ruder to Guido Pini, who got injured at the start of the weekend. So he is out injured, and Ruda has come in to replace him, who's also competing in the CIV Italian Championship, and he won both races here a couple of weeks ago. So Marcus Ruda, watch out for him coming from the middle of row number 4 on the number 69. Now you might have seen on his left-hand side, our right, Emilio Alzamora. He is back, the ex-Marc Marquez manager. He is here as team principal of the Artbox squad.
That is exciting. It's particularly exciting for Spanish motorcycle racing. I think all of that experience and what they can produce, obviously we've seen it before, we're seeing it again now, and there's a trajectory there that is just sensational.
Indeed, indeed, and we just saw the young Rosenthaler there, the Austrian, going from outside of row number 4. There's so much talent on the grid here, and Jesus Rios is in prime position to take victory here today.
There it is, Liam, the 1.
Here we go, the grid for today with Jesus Rios in pole position alongside Adrian Cruces and Rushi Moodley.
That is a potent front row. Behind them we've got Buchanan, Salmela and O'Gorman. Behind them Max Quiles, Hakim Danish and Marcos Uriarte. It's Alvaro Carpe who leads from row 4. Behind him Ruda and Rosenthaler. In row 5 it's Morosi, Yambies, Shahril, and in row 6, Planquez, Paulet, and O'Shea. Further back now from row 7, Boggio, Ramonstoffer, Fomara. From row 8, Molignane, Fuetisan, and Mitani. And in row 9, Uesu, Abruzzo, and Liguori. And right in row 10, Tiezzi, Odaki, Al-Sauti. And at the back, row 11, Grenfell and Uchiumi.
Now Rushi Moodley, one of the riders to look out for, going from the outside of row number 1. And we've got one of the riders, that's Max Quiles in the background, who has stalled on the grid. So already disaster for one of the championship favourites, Max Quiles. He will be ushered into the pit lane. Yeah, extremely frustrated will Max Quiles be on the number 28 machine. Now he will be having to start from, well, the back of the grid if they cannot get this, if they can get the bike started. If they cannot, he'll be started from pit lane. So already an upwards task for Max Quiles, but not down and out, because we have seen in the past he has come from the back of the grid. I can remember back to Valencia last year where he did that and also won the race. But this is great news for the rest of his rivals. Can't believe we're already talking about Max Quiles and rivals already.
It's
race number 1 hasn't even started yet. But there we go, we have a track temperature of 66 degrees Fahrenheit, air temperature 55, 30 degrees Celsius, 90 degrees Celsius. Quite a chilly day in comparison to what it should be in mid-April here in Misano, but it's going to be hot action, frenetic action on track, I must say,
it's going to
here
be
in Misano.
On and off the track, Liam.
So the Junior GP riders power down the back straight on the sighting lap. Now there is Eddie O'Shea on the number 8 MLAV machine. Now you might be wondering where he might be. He's starting back in 18th position, Connor. He has had a bit of a technical gremlin so far this weekend, and unfortunately he was not able to set a time in Q2 yesterday. So he's starting back in 18th, but on Friday he was inside the top 5. So expect Eddie O'Shea, who's in his 4th season, a bit of fun and games out there on the track there, as I believe that's Alvaro Carpe getting sat up by one of the Estrella Galicia riders. Not Max Quiles though, because he, as we just saw there, is going to be starting from pit lane. Disaster. Well, he's rolling out pit lane. No, he's rolling down towards the end of the pit lane now. So Max Keeles is going to be stopping right about now. So when the riders go past him going in towards turn number 3, he will eventually get the green light and he will be let out. So he's already at a disadvantage as last year's European Talent Cup champion. Already drama before we've got race number 1 underway in 2024, but no such drama so far for your pole sitter Jesus Rios, going from his first ever pole position in Junior GP, the rookie sensation. There's Adrian Cruces on the number 11. Watch out for him on the middle of row 1, and on the outside 21 Rishi Moodley. The red flag is ready. The safety car just rolling into background as the green flag waves. The revs will be rising. We will be getting ready for Junior GP action in 2024 now as the lights go out. A cracking start by Rios. The number 14 of Buchanan gets another great start by Adrian Cruces, who gets the launch off the line into turn number 1. It's going to be Cruces who leads away from Rios, and then it's Buchanan in 4th, and Moodley up the inside for 2nd. Will he be able to push Rios out wide? No, he will not. Rios still holds out, bumping and boring a little bit further back, but as they go into Rio corner for the first time, it's Cruces who leads away from Moodley, now in 2nd. Great start by Moodley. Oh, bit of a chop up there from Rios, who chops up the inside of Moodley through turn number 5, powering down the back straight, and it's a good start for Carpi mid-pack as well, but for now, after sector 2, it's going to be Adrian Cruces that leads the way.
It was a very impressive start, Liam, from the Spanish rider, who appears to have just sacrificed the front there.
Yeah, we're going to have to be watching out for Max Keeles, who started from pit lane. If you've just joined us, drama before lights went out. Max Keeles had to be rolled off the grid as Moodley gets a bit of a bobble on, goes a little bit wide, and that's going to be losing 1, 2, 3, 4 positions as he gets set up by Buchanan. Another bit of a bobble there. That's Casey O'Gorman, the Irish rider in 5th spot. He's taken advantage of that mistake by Moodley. And has Carpi done it as well? Yes, he has. Up to 6th spot as they come through Tremonto for the first time, the fast right towards the end of the lap. So Cruces leads away, but he's getting challenged by Rios. The pole setter up there said, here comes Buchanan as well. He's made it through. Great move there. We've seen that a few times in the past, but runs a little bit deep. Cruces back up there side, and is chopping and changing back and forth. Rios back up there side, runs a little bit deep, and it's Cruces out to settle for 2nd. But here comes Buchanan and O'Gorman. It's a complete lap number 1. Watch out they don't run off those Misano curbs. It's very saturated out there as well, but leading across the line after lap number 1 is Rios from Cruces, Buchanan and O'Gorman, but retaking the lead. Cruces is having none of it. This is fantastic action as Rios jumps off the front of Cruces. This is what we've been missing on for the off-season. We've started with a bang here in Junior GP and 2024. Oh, there was a bit of a touch there for Buchanan and O'Gorman, I believe, or it was very close indeed, but it looked like a bit of a touch front wheel to back between Buchanan and O'Gorman.
I just wonder, Liam, if Rios is going to have the experience he needs at this level to be able to maintain the lead in the 15 laps that we've got left.
Yeah, it's going to be chopping and changing, bumping and boring all the way through it. There's a lot of action. This is just letting everyone behind. Rishi Moodley up the inside for 5th spot. Oh, a bit of a bobble there from Rios. He runs off onto the marbles on the outside of the track. Buchanan's taking advantage of that, but here comes O'Gorman. O'Gorman's always a good Sunday rider, but runs a little bit deep through turn number 10. So we have Rios back in control, but this squabbling here is letting Cruces just eke out a little bit of an advantage, as well as Buchanan and Carpi are in the mix now, and Moodley looking for the inside but doesn't quite make it.
And the riders just waiting for their opportunities here. It's Adrian Cruces who's still leading.
Yeah, Adrian Cruces looking brilliant so far. That's Yambias further back, the Argentine, or the Uruguayan rider, I should say, making a bit of a move on this. Carpi a little bit further back if you're looking out for O'Shea. Started 18th, he was already up to 13th at the end of the opening lap. He's already inside this top group, so a good start there from O'Shea as a complete lap number 2. It's Cruces from Rios, from O'Gorman, and that's Alvaro Carpi. So Alvaro Carpi wasn't further back, he's in the top 4. And we do not have a move just yet. The riders, after a couple of laps of squabbling, are just biding their time. Oh, he's not biding his time. He's Rios, and he's gone for a move at Cruces, but Cruces slams the door shut.
That was fantastic. Fantastic from Cruces.
Yeah, Rishi Moodley, fastest lap of the race. You can see him there on the number 21 Finite Work Team Machine in 6th spot. Coming under a little bit of pressure now from Yambias on the 94. We've not really seen Yambias for a couple of seasons. He has been there, but Yambias is looking for a nice, big opening race to the season.
That's absolutely right, Liam. It's time to make a statement of intent.
Three are best going into turn number 8, and that's Khrushchev's been hung out to dry there, and Khrushchev's shuffled all the way back to third with Rios bumping and boring, elbow to elbow action between Rios and Khrushchev's. A bit of a bobble on from Carpi. He's running a little bit deep into turn number 10. He's been sat up there. We're going to see that's still Mela on the 27 bike. He's found his form at the start, dropped back a little bit, and we've also got Danish and Uriarte in this group as well, Morosi, Rosenthaler and Ruda.
There's absolutely no room to swing a cat here.
That's a great scene there, Connor. Love that indeed.
It's just so tight.
It's so proud. Well, look at Carpi with this one. Oh, I thought he was going to run into someone there, but he's managed to just get the anchors thrown out and get that bike stopped. So, yeah, the Alvaro Carpi, he's chasing his first win in Junior GP, second in championship last year. Buchanan, he's found his way up into 5th, but for now, as they come across the line, it's Casey O'Gorman who leads the way, the Irish rider. His first full season of Junior GP action on the Australia Galicia machine. He is exactly where he wants to be, out front with Khrushchev and Rios challenging him early on.
It's a very impressive ride so far, Liam. That was close, that was close.
That was very close, but here's Max Quiles. He's coming through the pack now, so Max Quiles still outside the top 20s. In 24th position is Max Quiles, so not really made the forward progression that we really expected there.
He's got a lot of work to do. He's capable of it. He's got 13 laps to do it. I mean, there's a reason why he's the protege of the Marquez brothers. There's a reason why he's signed up to Marc Marquez's management agency, Vertical. I mean, he's a very big figure in Spain, even at such a precocious age.
Yeah, you might be wondering, it's like, well, who's Max Quiles? Well, he ran his Marc Martinez a couple of seasons ago, but God, I'm really glad you actually did remember the name of the agency there, because that's something I did forget. So you've been right on the money with that one, as Rishi Moodley is right on the money with that, overtaking O'Gorman. O'Gorman's getting hung out to dry on the outside of turn number 10. He's gone from 2nd all the way back to 5th. He's going to lose even more positions here. That's Uriarte and Buchanan. Here comes Carpi, chopping them all up, going into turn 11 there, the fast right-hander towards the end of the lap. That is Alvaro Carpi. He's gained about 3 positions from 7th all the way up to 4th through Carvoni. So great stuff there from Alvaro Carpi, but he's lost again to Uriarte. But big move there. That was from, well, one of the red machines in the background, just behind this group there. That was, we're going to have to check who that one was, and that was the number 13, Hakim Danish. I thought it was Danish. Danish is doing the big moves like he did in European Talent Cup last year. That's why we love him. He's all out action as young Malaysian Hakim Danish on the number 13 bike. Watch out for him on the SEC Racing MSI squad. But it's all chopping and change. Khrushchev's leading the way for the moment.
Well, speaking about watching out for Hakim Danish, watch out for him in Portugal in the next round as well, as he was on the podium there in the European Talent Cup.
Yeah, he was indeed. He's absolutely fantastic as Hakim Danish. A star for the future. They've got an absolute gem on their hands with Danish to the Malaysians there. He's making even more places up. That's up the inside of Uriarte. So Hakim Danish, he's woken up early this morning. He's had his Weetabix and he's come to play.
He's up into 6th now. Can he climb any further?
Oh, he will. Don't you worry about that. And climbing further is Rishi Moodley.
Oh, what a man.
Oh, that could have been disastrous. He's pushed Khrushchev's out wide. They've lost all their momentum, but Rishi Moodley, he's got to be thankful he didn't tuck the front. He's so good on the brakes. He's gone deep, but that sent them both wide, and Rios takes advantage there through Tremonto. Great stuff there from Rishi Moodley and Rios, but Rishi Moodley's not giving this one up. But here comes Carpi once more like he did last lap. He's gone to first. Carpi leads away through Carvoni, and that's a big statement there through such a fast corner. Carpi leads away now from Rishi Moodley, and that is now Rios back into 3rd, but Carpi a little bit wide. And here goes Moodley once again. He's so good on the brakes as the young South African. First race in Junior GP, you would think he was a veteran.
You would, Liam, with the way he's riding at the moment, leading the pack, looking calm and collected, but this is chopping and changing all the time.
It's incredible. There is 17 riders in this leading group, from Carpi all the way down to Ramensdorfer, the number 5. Well, it's incredible. We've also got Sharil in this group. Yambias, he's dropped back. Morosi, Ruda as well. Buchanan, O'Shea, he's inside the top 10 now, so O'Shea has made good progress from that 18th place start. But it's all chopping and change. We're going to see O'Shea. There he is on screen. He's making his way forward. Further back we have Max Keelis, who's still just outside the top 20 here, as we've got some moves. That looks like it's Uriarte up the inside of O'Gorman. It is indeed, and Uriarte into up the inside of Rios, I should say, on the number 54. So Rios is going backwards in this stage.
I mean, any rider, Liam, in this first group has 17 riders, each of which will think they've got an opportunity to win.
Well, indeed they will, because we've seen back here in the past, especially in Moto3, since JuniorGP hasn't been here for a couple of seasons, the class we should say, but in here Moto3 a couple of years ago, John McPhee came from 17th with a couple of laps to go and still won the race, so it can happen. We have seen it happen as O'Shea's had to set up a little bit. That looks like it's Crucius, who's also been dropped all the way back in this leading group. He tried to take advantage of that but hasn't. Rico Salmela on the 27, just behind the Malaysian of Danish Rosenthaler. He's up to, look at Rosenthaler there, on the number 78 machine. Rosenthaler has made big progress in the last couple of laps on the Liqui Moly Husqvarna Intag GP team. And Rishi Moodley, as we look at the team, they must be jumping for joy as Rishi Moodley is taking the lead again into Caro corner there, and demoted Carpi back into second. So we're rounding the final corner. We're about to tick off even more laps now. That is lap 6 of 16 completed here in JuniorGP. Moodley leads from Carpi, O'Gorman, Uriarte, Rios, and Rios was not holding back there. Rios is going for a double overtake. He hasn't done that just yet, but Carpi almost tags the back of O'Gorman. He must have just seen Rios come up the inside and just let off the brakes a little bit to roll round the outside, but Rios, it's all action here in Misano as we head into Rio corner. I think I'm going to lose my breath here, Connor, and it's only lap number 7 of the first race of the day.
The first race of the day, Liam.
And there we go, we've got
Max Keelis is doing what he needs to do. He's got the fastest lap here with a 142.713.
A 142.713 would have put him on the grid. A 142.73, that would have put him at 14th on the grid. So an incredible lap time there from Max Keelis. So he is now finding his form. Was that him there in the background coming through the camera shot? We're going to have to look out for that. But just remember, he's on the Australica Lithia machine, the bright blue bike that matches the one that's in second place of Casey O'Gorman. Power down the back straight once more into Carvoni, and it's Rishi Moodley that leads the way with O'Gorman hot on his heels. They open up a little bit of a gap, but Carpi and Rios have managed to reel them both back in as they head into the hardest braking zone of the corner of the course. Turn number 14 at Caro corner, where we see many lunges, and we expect to see many more with this race still to run. We're not even halfway distance yet. We will be when we tick off this lap. It's going to be in lap number 8 we're coming on to now, with Moodley leading the way.
Moodley's leading, but the other riders just biding their time here. I think it's a bit more stable than it was at the beginning of the race, Liam. 9 laps to go now.
Yeah, the riders have just really settled into a bit of a groove now. Maybe Carpi hasn't. I thought he was going to go for a move on Gorman into turn number 2, the Varianta del Parco section of the track, but that's all scuppered his momentum, and Rios has gone for the move. He's shuffled him back to 4th, and his teammate, well, both of his teammates there, that's Salmela and Rosenthal, have shuffled them all the way back to 7th spot. So a move he tried to go for 2nd, he's scuppered all of his momentum and he's dropped even further back. You've got to watch out for that in JuniorGP. If you go for a move and it doesn't quite pull off, you will find out that you're going to have piranhas behind you, and they will be jumping at any opportunity they can have to have a bit of a bite.
Absolutely, everyone's hungry for that position on the podium right now.
Yeah, so first race of the day, first round of the season, is all action. JuniorGP at its absolute finest. The top 17, we just saw Ramsdorfer there at the back, a bit of a moment there. That looked like it was for Sharil, who had a bit of an out of the seat moment there. It was indeed the number 57 rider, the Malaysian, in 15th spot now. He qualified 15th, so that was a little bit less than he would have hoped for, but Sharil, another rider in his 3rd season, will be looking for big things this year. Oh, that's a great move up the inside by Carpi, sets up his teammate Rosenthaler. So Carpi on the 83 bike is showing his teammates who's boss. A bit yellow flags in the background. We're going to have to keep an eye out for who that might have been, but yellow flags towards the Corrado. And that's Buchanan Buchanan's gone down. Buchanan was having such a good ride. He was in the top group. Buchanan has gone down, so he's had a fast one towards the end of the lap, heading towards Carroll Corner. So such a shame for Buchanan, who was looking great in the early stages of this race and looking to try and snatch his first podium in Junior GP. Disaster there, corner for Buchanan.
That is very disappointing for the young rider from New Zealand. Started from before. Really was an opportunity.
Yeah, started before, big opportunity for Buchanan there, and unfortunately he has gone down. But thankfully the Junior GP class have got another bite of the cherry later on today, so Cormac Buchanan will be eager to get some results later on today. Chopping and changing a little bit further back, that's Ruda that we've just seen there on the 70 Moto Art machine, replacing Guido Pini for this weekend. Guido Pini, we wish speedy recovery, as he had a bit of a crash in Red Bull Rookies testing last weekend, so being a bit of a rush to get back to Red Bull Rookies for Jerez. And that's Max Quiles. I thought that was Max. Max has gone down as well. So he was charging through the field. Max Quiles, who's had a dramatic beginning to his career in Junior GP. He couldn't get it off the line for the sighting lap. He's then had to start from pit lane. He was then coming through the field with the fastest lap, apart from Salmela, who's just set the fastest lap now. So before Salmela just set that fastest lap, it was Quiles, and Quiles has gone down. So big disaster for your double European Talent Cup champion, who we're expecting big things from in this opening race.
We were expecting big things from him. Disaster, disappointment, but as you've just said, Liam, he's got another opportunity now, and he can make things right. That's the good thing about this event in Misano.
Oh, it's a brilliant event here in Misano. And wow, that was a big move, a brilliant move by Jesus Rios. He made Casey O'Gorman set that one up and get a bit of a bobble on. So Jesus Rios, he's not short of any aggression as the young Spanish rider. Rookie race as well, just like Rushi Moodley. And you wouldn't expect any of these riders to be in their rookie race of the championship. Yambias, who's in his third season now, has just set the fastest lap. So Yambias all the way back in 13th. He was running inside the top 7 early on, but he has been shuffled back. However, he's there just behind Eddie O'Shea on the number 8 MLAV racing machine. So Hakim Danish, we just saw making a bit of a move on Morossi further back. We'll have to see if he made that one come off, but it looks like the top 3 are just opening up a bit of a gap with Salmela, Rios and Casey O'Gorman, the top 3 now. So Salmela, and he does so often in European Talent Cup last season and in Red Bull Rookies, he just casually finds his way to the front of the pack. You really don't really see him getting there, but when he gets there, you really do know he's there. There's Max Quiles in the garage, the team consoling him. So yeah, they're just saying, chat up, lads. You've got
another go.
We've got another go later on today, so it's not all. Oh, that's one of the Husqvarna riders. Is that Carpe? That's Carpe. Carpe's been sat up by his own teammate Rosenthal. So Carpe, well out of it now, off the track. It's all action here in Junior GP, and it's only lap number 10 of the day. So Junior GP, this is brilliant stuff with Rico Salmela carving his way to the front, and his teammate Alvaro Carpe, who we did expect to be challenging for the win, has been pushed off the track at Tremonto, and O'Shea and Yambias have dropped well off the back of this group. No, O'Shea is still there. That was Plonk and Rammenstorfer. Some of the bikes look a little bit similar. So as we start the new season, we're getting a little bit used to all of the riders. But for now, it's still Salmela that leads away from Rios and O'Gorman.
Yeah, this is really impressive from Salmela. He actually managed P4 here in race 2 in Misano previously. Is he going to be able to better that this time around? At this point, it's looking likely, and the race is really heating up, as you said, Liam, as well. We've had 2 fast laps in quick succession.
Yeah, we just
Whoa, that's unexpected, Liam, as well.
Yeah, that's disaster for Charil. We just saw the green LED lights flashing in the background, so we weren't sure who just went down, but Daniel Charil, who's had quite a tough weekend here, it looks like he's gone down at the start of the lap, just taking his gloves off. The marshal's just checking him over, making sure he's okay as well, but that's a bit of a disaster for Charil, who was running inside this top group as well. So hopefully he'll be okay, and the team will have a job on their hands to get that bike ready for race number 2. But as we were just talking about, a bit of a gap opening up between O'Gorman and Moodley. That's about 4 or 5 bike lengths from the back of the Irishman up towards the South African. That's top 3 are starting to break away, but maybe it's time now for, well, Rosenthaler, who had made a move on Moodley, but Moodley, as we've seen all race, is an absolute dynamite into Carroll corner at the end of the lap. So Moodley back into fourth, but these guys chopping and changing and really ruffling each other up in the second group. They're just letting the top three get away ever so slightly. Come across the line now, the gap between them, it still remains the same as 7/10 of a second from O'Gorman back to Moodley. So Moodley trying to get his hook into the back of O'Gorman. O'Gorman's, I must admit, Corner, looking very comfortable there in third spot. He's all over the back wheel of Rios, really hanging with him, Noriyuki Haga style, as Casey O'Gorman, but he doesn't look like he's in too much of a rush to make a move, as you see Salmela is setting a really good lap time, a really good pace at the front of the field. It's another 42.5 from Salmela. That's the third lap in a row. He set a 42.5, 42.6 for Rios, a 42.5 for O'Gorman, and further back a 42.7s with Moodley and Rosenthaler chopping each other up.
I think we touched on it earlier, Liam. If you try and make a move and you don't manage to make it stick, then you're going to get penalised effectively by another rider who's going to be taking your spot. So that explains why Casey O'Gorman is biding his time, making sure when he does make the move, he can make it stick.
Yeah, indeed he has. That will be his game plan going forward for Casey O'Gorman. Now, Salmela's pace at the front is so hot, it's actually stringing out the second group as well now. So that is the number 89 of Uriarte, who is starting to, well, he's going with the second group now, but he's starting to drop Morossi, Danish, Yambias and Carpe. Carpe, he's now coming back through the pack ever so slightly. He's back up to 11th spot. He did get pushed off the track a couple of laps ago by his own teammate Rosenthaler. So Carpe, we see him in the background on number 83 machine, just running on the green there. You can't run on the green too often or you're going to get a warning, and if you keep doing that, you're going to get yourself a long lap penalty. Rider 78, shortcut at turn 11. That's a long lap penalty, as we see Moodley, who has managed to bridge that gap from the second group to the first. He's now back into third spot. So the number 78, that's Rosenthaler there. So Jakob Rosenthaler, that's a bit of a disaster there. So
you just mentioned incurring the wrath of the stewards.
Yeah, he has indeed. We thought Rosenthaler was in for a good result here. He's jumped up O'Gorman there, made him set up. So maybe he's had that message come through. He's like, right, I need to get as far forward as possible so I can serve this long lap penalty, which is on the outside of Tramonto. So you might lose about 2.5 seconds coming through to 3 seconds coming through the long lap penalty loop. So he might want to do this as quick as possible. With 4 laps to go, he doesn't have much time left to serve this penalty corner.
He doesn't have much time, but he's got enough time. We've seen how close these riders have been throughout the entirety of this race.
Yeah, it's been an absolute cracking race here in Misano, and Rishi Moodley, oh, he's tagged the back of Salmela. He went deep, and that's Salmela and Rishi Moodley both in the gravel trap in their first race in Junior GP. That's such a shame for Salmela, who was looking peerless out front. He was looking so good, and Rishi Moodley, we've seen him deep on the brakes a few times into Tramonto, has tagged the back of Salmela. So disaster there. There's Salmela. That's good to see. He's walking away from the accident. We've got to check out on Rishi Moodley, but here we go again. So Moodley going for a move on the inside of Rios, just leaves his braking a little bit too late, and the innocent party there, Rico Salmela, had no idea what was about to come charging into the side of him. Such a shame for both. They were looking incredible in their opening race, but
absolute dejection in the box there, Liam.
Indeed, and as you can see, there's the notice board for Rosenthaler. Long lap penalty for the number 78, who's in 4th spot, so that's going to take him out of action with 3 laps to go. That's good to see. Rishi Moodley, who was looking on fine form up to that point, walking through the gravel trap. He'll have another chance, as will Salmela, later on today at 2 o'clock local time for Junior GP race number 2. But before we get on to that, we have race number 1 to still put into the history books. It's now Cruces, Rios and O'Gorman that lead the way, the 2 KTMs and the Honda at the front, and they are opening up a gap again over Rosenthaler, Uriarte, Morossi, Carpe, Danish, Ruda, Yambias, and on the back of the group, on the number 8, MLAV Racing, is O'Shea. So 2.5 laps remaining. It's Cruces who's worked his way back to the front of the group after dropping to outside the top 10. A bit of electric legs there from Cruces as he chomps down the gears into Tramonto, and that was Uriarte up the inside of Morossi. It looks like we've got a bit of debris on the track, and we have, that's the number 69 of Ruda putting his hand up and pulling off the track, so I don't know if that's a bit of debris from his machine, but that's Ruda, who was looking fantastic, and as a replacement for Guido Pini, he's out of the race, but thankfully he's noticed that early. But here comes Carpi. He looked like he was about to carve up someone into Cado corner, but had to back out of it. But it's your top three leading the way: Cruces, O'Gorman, and Rios.
Yeah, Cruces is looking really impressive. He was actually the rider with the most points in the second half of the season last year, and he's starting this year as he means to go on, keeping up that momentum.
Yeah, he is indeed. He's looking fantastic. Peerless at the front at the moment, but we now have Morossi, who's been a little bit in the shadow so far in this race. He's now put his way to the front. So Morossi, the 19 on the CF Moto machine, the Aspar Junior team. Watch out for the young Italian who'll be looking to pick up a race win, a podium here in front of his home fans. And Morossi, look, he's just in front of his teammate Marcos Uriarte. There's so many of them as Rios looks over his shoulder with a lap and a half to go. Just see how much of a gap they've got as O'Gorman now leads, but Cruces doesn't let him have it for too long. Odaki's crashed out from the race a little bit further back, so a shame for the young Japanese rider. O'Gorman now looks over his shoulder. He now sees this big gap between Rios and Morossi. So these three look like, and with that's Rosenthaler now serving his long lap penalty. Yeah, so Rosenthaler, he's well and truly out of this, but he will be able to bag a top 10 if he just stays on it.
Yeah, he had looked very strong, really. It's unfortunate for him.
Yeah,
he moved up to 5th at one point, Liam.
Yeah, big shame there for Rosenthaler on the Lucamoli Husqvarna team. But back at the front, we were saying it. It looks like Morossi. He's now bridging that gap to Rios in third, and he has done indeed. He's brought Uriarte, Danish, Carpi, and Yambias, the other Australia Galicia machine, on the back of the group. We've got a yellow flag or yellow LED out, so not sure that could be for. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But Yambias well out on the green there, creating his own racetrack out there on the exit of turn 15 into Misano corner as they cross the line to start the final lap of race number 1 here in Misano. It's Cruces from O'Gorman and Rios, who dives up the inside of O'Gorman for second spot. Can he make a double? No, he can't. He slots into second, but Cruces in prime position so far. Danish is getting hung out to dry by Carpi in the background on the 83 and 13 machine respectively. O'Gorman looking for a move up the inside, but here comes Rios. Oh, a bit of a bubble on from O'Gorman, gets that stopped just in time, but Morossi and Uriarte, they're there as well to pick up the pieces if anything happens to his top three. But for now, it's Cruces down the back straight for the final time that leads the way.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic ride from Cruces. He's really managed to take advantage of the situation the race has really presented him with.
Oh, we've got a big move here from Uriarte. Big move from 5th to 2nd. You can't do that, but he has in brilliant style. Uriarte, he's here and he's making sure that he gets his first point, but he's had a bit of a moment there with Morossi, his teammate. Morossi takes the lead. Will he run right? No, he won't. Here comes Cruces back at the front, and this is only a lap or half a lap remaining as they power down the back straight towards turn 11. The fearsome Carvoni corner. O'Gorman, he's looking for a bit of a slipstream, almost a bit of contact with Cruces there through Carvoni, and the Aspar team riders look like they've made it an absolute brilliant style. They've made it to the front in brilliant fashion, Connor.
At the right time to do it as well, right up the last lap. So really impressive from Morossi.
Oh, incredible stuff from Morossi. He's leading the way. A bit of a bobble from Uriarte. He's out wide, and Rios is taking advantage. Bit of a wheelie. Here comes O'Gorman in foil. Oh, he's up the inside of Cruces and pushes him out wide. One more corner to go. While Morossi finally taking Carpi's up the inside. Hasn't done it just yet. And Rios has got the run. Rios is going for it. And it's going to be Rios across the line who takes the victory from Morossi. Oh, photo finish. 0.2 of a second. That was Rios from Morossi. And Uriarte takes his first podium. O'Gorman just misses out on that incredible race, but Rios, wow, timed it to absolute perfection. The rookie who set his first pole position has not just only taken his first podium in the class, he's taken his first win, Connor.
Start P1, finish P1. Absolutely fantastic from Jesus Rios.
What more do you want from Jesus Rios? We have a star in the making.
An absolute signal of intent from the young Spanish rider.
Jesus Rios is, oh my goodness, delighted, overjoyed with that one, and he won it in the best fashion. He got the run out of the final corner. Morossi, he did everything right. Such a shame for Morossi. He looked on course to finally get onto the top step of the podium, but he's dejected. Oh, he's dejected or overjoyed. We can't really tell because it's hard to see through the visor. So Morosi, big moment there for him.
A fantastic ride from him as well. He took 53 points last year in this championship. This year, I think he's shown us that he can do even better.
Indeed he can. Yeah, Morosi. There's Marcos Uriarte, and maybe being overshadowed by another Uriarte over the last couple of years, but the Aspar team have found some talent inside Marcos, and he has just cruised to his first podium. And he's trying to get the adulation of the crowd around this Misano circuit, Marco Simoncelli. But no one could have done better than Jesus Rios. From pole position, he's just nabbed his first podium, but nabbed it in the best way possible with race victory. The number 54. Oh, he's in floods of tears. Here we go again, out of the final corner. Morosi leading the way, but Rios just gets the run. Morosi looks across, Rios looks across, almost shaking hands as they go across the line together. And it's Jesus Rios who takes the win by 0.02 of a second. 200ths in it. You almost couldn't separate them. It was incredible racing there, and Casey O'Gorman just missing out on what would have been an incredible way to open his account here in Junior GP for 2024. P4 though, and the opening race ahead of Cruces, Carpe, Yambias and Danish. That's Yambias' best result since last season. So Yambias has finally come back on form, the young Uruguayan rider. So Yambias finished 16th in last year's Junior GP with the best result of 6th place. So just missing out on equaling his best result in the class. But no doubt that taking his best result in the class was Marcos Uriarte, who we've just seen come into the pit there. We see the riders getting weighed there, and well, making sure that they are well within inside the minimum weight limit. And once they've done that, they can finally head over to their team and celebrate. And there's Morosi there. You hate to see that because they've just poured their heart and soul into the race, and well, just missing out as he had the race under control in the final corner. He had it all sewn up, and Morosi just got slipstreamed to the line. But that's the name of the game here in Junior GP. It happens so often, and we will see, well, we'll see plenty, I'm sure we'll see plenty of it happen in the race coming up a little bit later on today. But Morosi has to be extremely delighted when he sits down and eventually takes stock of what's happened there, because he has shown the world of the talent the young Italian has, because he's led the race brilliantly from the front at the final lap. Timed his overtakes to perfection, but it was just Rios who got the slipstream to the line in the end and took his first win in Junior GP. Yeah, we can see now the Aspar team, who are a fantastic team. Really, they're one of the best in the paddock at homegrown talent. And young riders coming through the system, the likes of Joel Esteban, who moved up for this year. David Alonso as well, multiple Moto3 race winner. He's also moved into Moto3 World Championship and already a race winner. So the Aspar team, well, when they pick a rider, you know that rider is something special. And Morosi and Uriarte have proven that here today. Well, the crowd have come out in their droves, and they're watching on from the balcony on top of the media centre where we are, and across the home straight, and also around the circuit. We've seen quite a lot of the Italian fans come out here today and witness what has to be some of the best racing you're hoping to see on Sunday afternoon. And with sunshine here in Misano, there's no better place to watch some motorcycle racing anywhere around the world. So the fans have been privy to an absolute modern classic, you have to say, from Junior GP. I mean, it's hard not to say that Junior GP usually has modern classics, but that was one for the ages. You could not tell who was going to take the top spot from any rider. And I believe we've got Connor Doherty down in Parc Fermé ready to speak with our race winner. Over to you, Connor. Who's
first race, first win. How does it feel?
Very good. I'm very happy because, yeah, it's my first victory in this category in Moto3. Yesterday I did a pole position, so phenomenal weekend. Later I tried to win another time, but I don't know, the other riders are very fast. and it's so hard in this category. So next time I try.
Y si nos puedes explicar también en castellano cómo te ha ido el día.
Bueno, la verdad que muy bien, muy contento. Ayer hice la pole position, hoy hemos quedado primero. La verdad que muy difícil de repetir, ¿no? Porque todos los pilotos están a un gran nivel. Estábamos ahí 10 muy luchados y la verdad que muy contento y solamente agradecer a mis patrocinadores, a mi familia, a mi gran equipo que sin ellos no podía ser posible.
Muchas gracias. Good luck for the next race.
Well, we've just heard from a race winner, and here is how Jesus Rios became a sensation in his first race. He got the whole shot, but it was Khrushchev that led early after, with Rishi Moodley finding his way to the front. But a little bit of a mistake there, dropped him further back. Late braking into that corner will eventually be his downfall a little bit later on in the day. Rios charged to the front ahead of Khrushchev, but O'Gorman and Carpe were also in the pack, as well as Buchanan. But unfortunately, Buchanan would come a cropper a little bit later on in the race. Khrushchev is battling his way back forward, as we had a leading group of 17 at one stage, with Rishi Moodley finding good form on the brakes. However, he wouldn't make it stick a little bit later on in the race. Rios back up the inside, challenging for second, as the Holder riders powered down the back straight, with Carpe taking full advantage into the fearsome Carvoni corner. So as Carpe led the way, he would eventually be pushed out by one of his teammates through that same section only a couple of laps later by Rosenthal, who would pick himself up a long lap penalty a little bit later on in the race. But before that, him and Rios got a little bit close for comfort through the Variante del Parco chicane. Salmela found his way to the front. The young Finnish rider, in his debut race of the season, was leading comfortably from the front ahead of O'Gorman and Rios. A bit of a bobble there on the brakes as Rios found his way up the inside with a number of laps to go, but the second group finally bridged the gap, with Rishi Moodley moving into third. But it would be disaster for Moodley and Salmela, as Rishi Moodley left his braking a little bit late into Tremonto, and they were both down and out, but they were seemingly okay and ready to race later on today. But it was the CF Moto Aspar junior team riders of Morosi and Uriarte who found their way to the front in the closing stages of the race. As Morosi led the way, Rios slipstreamed them to the line, and it was Rios who took his first victory from pole to victory here in Junior GP in his debut race. Well, absolutely incredible action to kick off our day's racing here today in Junior GP. And well, we've got some happy riders in on the podium. Marcos Uriarte takes his first podium. Morosi, his best career result, with second place. But the rider that has the biggest smile on the face, especially even with those braces on, you can still see the beaming, bright smile. It is Jesus Rios. There we have Mr. Andrea Albani, the managing director of the Misano World Circuit, handing out the trophy to the team representative of Jesus Rios. And, well, you can imagine, after that performance, there'll be plenty more to come from young Rios. Marcos Uriarte, a big lift of the trophy for him, taking his first podium in the class. And then we've got Morosi, who was a little bit despondent after the race. He's now seeing the fortunes of what he managed to achieve in that race. And a big cheer from Morosi, the young Italian who was oh so close to his first victory in the championship. But taking the spoils in the race, we've got Moto3 World Championship rider handing out the trophy, and to, well, someone we can imagine seeing in the World Championship. Jesus Rios is the race winner in race number 1 here today.
Benissimo, e allora per I protagonisti di gara 1 è arrivato il momento di...
The Spanish national anthem rings out across the Misano World Circuit. Marco Simoncelli for Jesus Rios, the number 54 rider. Well, the number 54 has been a number with Manuel Poggiali that has become synonymous with the region of San Marino, and Misano, usually the host of the San Marino GP for MotoGP. The riders spray the, well, it won't be the Prosecco DOT-Con, it'll be probably rose water or something like that, because they're obviously all far too young to be having any of the alcoholic beverage. Yeah, they can indeed. So the riders pose for the photos in Junior GP, and here are the results of that one.
Zen Mitani. 18th, Leonardo Abruzzo. 19th, Edoardo Liguori. 20th, Cesare Tiezzi. 21st, Kotaro Uchiumi. 22nd, Hamad Al Sauti. 23rd, Au Uwezi. 24th, Monognane. And 25th, Marco Roro. And here we can see the riders who weren't able to complete the race. And here we have the standings. Well, it's one race down, we've got another today. Leading at the moment, Jesus Rios after his sensational ride. And it's very much as we've just seen from race one. Alessandro Morossi with 20 points, Urati with 16, Ogoman with 13, Cruces with 11. And here we can see the final point scorers of today's action so far. Rosenthaler, Plankes, Ramonstoffer, Paolec, Poggio and Fomara.
Well, there we have it. Race number one for Junior GP here at the Misano World Circuit. Marco Simoncelli done and dusted and thrown into the history books. A modern classic, that one was indeed, with Jesus Rios taking the spoils ahead of Morossi and Uriarte. We have race number two coming up a little bit later on today, so make sure you join us for that, but don't go anywhere, as we've got the European Talent Cup race number one coming up next.